ladies and gentlemen, we're kicking off another week of Impact Wrestling. Kicking off, we have the Miracle Mike Bennett. He's out there. He's ticked off. He says that last week he was screwed out of his match and that he should have won because Galloway was beneath him. EC3 beneath him, and James Storm, heck, was beneath him. He couldn't even beat Eli Drake. He was nothing more than a dummy, and that's a fact of life, to quote his friend. James Storm comes out, beer drinking, of course. He says, wait a minute. He's got the beer cooler and everything. He says, the beer cruiser and everything. He's got a beer cooler also. He's like, wait a minute. He came to party. I beat you. Therefore, I'm better than you. And Mike Bennett says, no, you're not. And they put the title on the line in the main event of Impact tonight. But kicking off, we have, speaking of dummies, we have the worthless mule known as Brother Nero go against another friend of Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy that is. Defeating Brother Nero is, of course, Eli Drake, your King of the Mountain champion. Next up, we have the worthless mule, Brother Nero, being kicked on the ground by Matt Hardy. And Macho Machismo says, wait a minute, I can't stand for this violence. And he goes and attacks broken Matt Hardy. He looks at Jeff on the ground and he says, I'm going to bring you back to who you used to be. I'm going to make you great again. I'm going to make you everything you should have been from the start. Next up, we have the Bram Open Challenge. Bram says, I give a challenge to anybody out there. It doesn't matter how short or tall you are, how smart or dumb you are. And that triggered Eugene to come out. And Bram's thinking to himself, what have I just done? And Eugene comes out and takes on Bram. Bram, of course, gets the win like that. It curb stomps Eugene. Next up, we have Dixie Carter out there. She says, we have an announcement to make. Billy Corgan, your commissioner, has been let go. He was useless in the eyes of TNA management. We're going to stick him back in the office and he can smash pumpkins all he wants there. In the meantime, your new commissioner is none other than Eric Bischoff. And Eric Bischoff comes out, gives a thank you. Crowd is giving mixed reactions to him. Some of them hate him, some of them love him. But he says, you're going to love me after this match coming up next. And that is, of course, the American Wolves taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Motor City Machine Guns fall short tonight as Alex Shelley was pinned after a shooting star press by Davey Richards. Of course, this will lead forward going up to Hard Justice 2016 of who will be able to take on the Decay, who will get closer to a chance to maybe dethrone them. Next up, we see a state of the Knockouts division. You have Gail Kim, Mickie James, the Knockouts champion, Sienna, ODB, and Awesome Kong. They're talking about the state of the Knockouts division and which one of them will truly fall. Next up, we have a big 5v5 match where we see the likes of the Bromans, Mark Andrews, Robbie E, and the X-Division champion Braxton Sutter take on the Shearer brothers, the Tribunal, and Trevor Lee, one half of the Helms Dynasty. Of course, bad guys do get the win tonight as Trevor Lee was able to beat Mark Andrews with a mushroom stomp. Next up, we have Abyss saying that he is beautiful and that he is the true menace of Impact. And Moose comes out and he disagrees with them, and that leads to them having a last man standing match, and Moose was able to defeat Abyss in the last man standing match with the Game Breaker. After that, we have a big co-main event segment as EC3 is out there. He's talking about how his aunt, Dixie Carter, has given a very pricey contract to one of the greatest wrestlers of this time, Cody Rhodes. And as Cody Rhodes sits down with EC3 and they talk about Cody coming to the Impact Zone, Cody says that he's not coming alone. He doesn't want to end up like his brother Dustin when he came to TNA. He doesn't want to have a silly face paint looking gimmick with him. He doesn't want a relic in the past. He is going to bring insurance. But it's time for our main event when Mike Bennett puts on the World Heavyweight title on the line against the beer-drinking James Storm. And James Storm, of course, falls flat tonight with the photo finish being hit on him for the win. But after that, Mike Bennett gets to the microphone and he says, you know, being champ is great and all, but what does it mean if no one loves you? You know, my family turned their back on me, but there's one person in my life who's never turned their back on me. When mom and dad dropped out of my life, there's one person that stayed in it, and that's my brother. Then Alexander Bennett debuts tonight alongside his brother and his brother's somewhat new fiance, Mickie James. Their relationship status is still unknown, but Alexander Bennett has came to the Impact Zone. Of course, 70 plus 24. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want more, comment below, likes, all that stuff, and we will see you all in the next Impact Wrestling.